C212 Marketing is done. If you guys are new to the channel, I'm going to Western Governors University and I'm going for my MBA in IT Management. And this class, C212 Marketing, is the third class that I had passed. And so I'm going to talk about that class in this video. You might be a little bit confused on how I got access to this class, even though technically it's not part of the first term classes. So if you guys don't know, when you first start WGU, you're given a set of classes. Everybody gets the same classes as their first term. And for this degree, that is C200 Managing Organizations and Leading People, MGT2 IT Project Management, and C202 Managing Human Capital. In my particular situation, yes, I got access to all three of those classes, but when I finished the first two on the list, before I finished C202 Managing Human Capital, my program mentor was like, hey, do you want me to just unlock the next class? And I was like, yeah. So she did. And the class that she unlocked that I requested was C212 Marketing. And just so you guys know, doing this a little bit out of order did not, in my opinion, really have any big effects. So like if I was to do this all over again, or if you guys were given the opportunity to do like marketing or something else before you finish the first term class, is it a big deal? Should you take it? Should you not take it? It doesn't matter. It's completely up to you and your program mentor. As long as you can get the first term classes done that you're supposed to get done within that first 6 months, you're good to go. So what is this class about? Well, I mean, marketing is marketing. I know I say that a lot, but that's what it is to me. It kind of teaches you like sort of a little bit of project management in terms of like, hey, is this idea, this strategy, whatever it is that we're going to do, whatever we're going to bring to market, like, is it feasible? Is it even worth doing it? So you'll learn a little bit about that. You're going to learn the roles of kind of what marketing is in a company, what it brings, why it exists. I think they mentioned a little bit about entrepreneurship, which unfortunately, I don't think they talk enough about it. I would have loved, I know this is just kind of a side note thing, but I would have loved if WGU had like an MBA in entrepreneurship for like small businesses or something like that. That's something I would have really, really been interested in, or maybe an MBA with a concentration of like cybersecurity. But anyways, that's just my thing. This marketing class, I think the marketing thing is important. It really highlights a lot about like customer relationships and how to build that type of thing. So it's okay for a class, but I'm the type of person, like I'm not a salesman. I'm not particularly interested in marketing. I'm more of a sort of behind the scenes type of person anyway. But as far as what the class is about, that's pretty much what this marketing class is. I would say that this is a pretty short class overall. It's not anywhere near as difficult as I figured it would be. And the reason why I say that is because the only requirement to pass this class is that you must do one task. It is a PA class, you have to do a task, but it's only one task. And you might think what I was thinking, which is, oh, this task must be some big elaborate thing. Maybe I'm going to have to like do a huge PowerPoint presentation, or I'm going to have to get on a webcam and present. Maybe I'm going to have to sell something. Like I'm going to have to do some big, huge, elaborate thing that's going to take me days to do. That's not the case at all. Now, of course, I can't tell you exactly what the topic is. If you guys don't know that already, if it's the first time you're seeing this video, WGU is pretty clear on what you can and can't say. So I can't give you too much detail about the actual task. Just know that it's pretty much just a written assignment. So you can sit down, you can write the paper. It did take me longer than most of the other PA's tasks that I've had to do. I found myself getting a little bit frustrated. I had to use multiple resources. There are certain tasks that I've done for other classes where I didn't have to cite any sources. I'm not sure if I had to cite sources in this one or if I just did because well, no, there's no way I wanted to. I'm pretty sure you had to cite sources in this particular task, but it wasn't that bad. Overall, I would say it probably took me, it took me longer than it should. So it probably took me about maybe 5-6 hours to do. But what happened was when I finally turned it in, I passed on the first try. And I'm sure you guys are wondering, how long was it? I think it was just probably about 11 pages for me. So it wasn't really that long at all. I think some people have less pages than that. There is no hard requirement. So you know, just write what you can. You do the minimum if you want to, or you can write a huge thing if you want. Doesn't really matter. But yeah, it was about 11 pages for me. In terms of like tips and tricks, I really don't have a whole lot for this class, only because it is fairly straightforward and it is pretty short. It's not a really long class. Again, you only have one task to do. I will say for that one task, well, first, when you get access to the class, under the announcement section should be an intro video to kind of help you get started. But I didn't do any of the cohorts, so I don't know if the cohorts are good or not. I would say just what I would recommend you do is whenever you feel like you're ready, whenever you want to, finish the class, maybe take a weekend day and just give yourself the whole day to work on the task. It's not a super easy task. I do think it is kind of hard, a little bit annoying, but the thing is, it's just there's a lot of sections in there. So there's a lot of like kind of mini things to do as you go through the task. But remember though, it's only one task. So sit down, give yourself a day to do it, and you should be good to go. Again, this particular one took me a little bit longer than it took for me to finish the other tasks, but it's mainly just because I don't really care about marketing, and I was kind of struggling to decide on the topic that I wanted to do, which I don't know if I said this or not. You can't necessarily choose a topic as much as it is kind of choosing the industry that you want to do the paper on, and then kind of going from there. So yeah, overall, not too bad. Just really the biggest advice I can give you, just give yourself a day to do it. Give yourself a nice long, maybe 4 to 6 hour stretch of time, sit down, and you'll be good to go. One last thing that I really wanted to mention here, because it's super important, is you need to do what the rubric says. The rubric is what you're graded on, not anything else, okay? And the reason why I'm saying that is because if you go in the course tips and you go into the course resources, you're gonna see a video. It's like an overview video that's 30 minutes or so long, and it will lay out everything that you need to do in order to pass the task. However, what it says in that video is not a one-to-one to what it says in the rubric. The video will have you do more things than you actually need to. I can't give you an exact example, and I can't remember one anyways, but it may say something like, oh, well, the rubric will say you must give like maybe 3 examples, but then the video will say, make sure you have at least 5 examples. And it's like, whoa, that's not what the rubric says. So be careful about that. I found myself getting really, really frustrated trying to watch the video and follow the video while at the same time following the rubric, when the rubric wasn't asking for nearly as much as the video was trying to make me do. So just be careful about that. And so with that being said, what's next? Well, C202 Managing Human Capital is the next video that you guys should get from me, but I am currently working on C207 Data-Driven Decision Making. This is a class that I've been working on for over a month, and I haven't been doing the best with it. However, I am happy to say that I'm making at least a little bit of progress. A couple weeks ago, I had a work trip, so I wasn't studying. Last week, I was actually pretty sick, but I was still studying. And even though I'm not 100% yet, as of yesterday, I started getting some pills. My doctor prescribed naproxen, which I've never heard of. It's like an anti-inflammatory slash painkiller, but they almost didn't give it to me. Like when I went to the pharmacy, they were like, well, it says here that it's on hold. We can't give it to you. Why do you need it? Did you specifically request this? I got drilled. I don't know why, but anyways, it's irrelevant. It's not important. Long story short here, that's the class that I'm working on. I passed the pre-assessment today again, so I'm thinking I may take it at some point this week. I'm really behind on what I want to get done, but that's where I am. So I'm currently working on C207. Next video you guys should get will be C202, and that's it. So until my next video, you guys take care.